it's important to identify and watch people that have already been there, right? Learn from their mistakes and then fill in the gaps, right? We're all heading in the same direction. It's just we're going to notice different things, and it's a different journey for each one of us, but the destination still remains the same. We all want balance, fulfillment. Happiness isn't something that we should be striving for. We'll have moments of happiness, but to be happy every day and to say that you're happy, I think is really a misnomer in our culture. Happiness is Jim Carrey says it best. Happiness is like the weather. To strive to be happy every day, I think will lead to depression, because you'll realize that you can't. And if you feel like you can't and you should, then you're going to feel like a failure. And then enough days of that, and you're going to sink deep. Whereas really at the end of the day, it's about fulfillment. It's having a day that has meaning to it, and the fulfillment of your day, the fact that you had a meaningful day, it was a progressive day, should give you a semblance of happiness, in regards to, I showed up, I did my best, I made forward motion. Today was better because I was in it than worse because I was in it. All right. And that's kind of, how I look at things, and it's really lightened the workload. So I have less energy allocated towards always being happy, and I've redistributed and reallocated that energy to other things that are giving me a better return on that energy investment. All right. So here I am, PEI Tuesday, apparently. My 8-year-old son has figured it out. It's incredible that, they're at that age, and, those things that matter to us so much don't matter to them. And, you watch them just kind of sail through life, and, with these aspirations of being astronaut cowboys, and then life and adulthood, we mold them into, care what people think, social status, this, that, and the other. But anyway, as a parent, I'm trying my hardest to lead by example, and not project onto them, let them be who they are, have enough energy and strength to shut my mouth sometimes when I'm about to critique them or tell them what's right and what's wrong, when really, if I take that second, that pause between action and reaction where logic exists, I actually start to believe, they're more right than me. 'Cause look at where my right got me. Look at where our right, our beliefs, our hierarchy of priorities have gotten us. And do we really want our kids going there? And if so, then how are they going to learn if, children learn by example, if we're leading such a poor example? But if our children can watch us fall, stumble, but then get back up, dust ourselves off, kick our own asses back into shape, and teach them how to prioritize things that are meaningful to them, I think the world is going to be a better place. And I'm a firm believer that it's not the world that I'm going to leave for my children. I think it's the children I'm going to leave for this world that's going to make the difference. So you have better parents make better children, right? There's no bad dogs, just bad dog owners. Right? It's the same type of, same methodology applies to this as well. All right. So take care of yourselves, everybody. Enjoy your life. All right. Be better, be healthier, but enjoy it along the way, because it's not going to end. There's no end to this. Right. 30 years later, I'm still plugging away at it. I'm still conscious of the food that I put in my body. I'm conscious of the time that I have during the day, the 24 hours of the day, getting up at 4:30 in the morning, going to bed around 10 at night, throughout the day or throughout the work week. That's a lot of, it's a lot of allocation. Like I've got a lot of investments in different accounts in my life, and, it's taken a lot of years for me to identify what's important, but it's important that we do that. All right. But you can only do that when you're healthy, because when you're cluttered and overwhelmed and tired, it's really hard to identify what's important. You tend to go with the path that's easiest, the path of least resistance. So you tend to fold and invest in things that, that look good, quick returns, high risk investments, this type of thing, quick, 12-week diets and pills and, trainers that promise, rock hard abs with this exercise and just do it 3 times a week in six minutes. Anyway, the desperation is palpable. You can see it, you can feel it in the air. Whereas if you are listening to people, if you're around people that are calm, collected, and say, listen, this will turn around. It won't turn around overnight, but it will begin the minute that you decide, you know what, I'm going to start taking control and I'm not going to look for quick fixes. Believe it or not, it actually becomes quicker. I know so many people that have lost 100 pounds. I'm guilty of this. I've actually contributed to that. I've had numerous people lose 100 pounds in 8 months, believe it or not, 8 months. Only just to gain it back within a year, just crash and burn. That was a bad investment, but I've had people that have lost 100 pounds in 3 years, and that was 20 years ago, and they still have it off. In fact, they've lost even more on top of it. So at the end of the day, who lost it quicker? At the end of the day, who did it right? At the end of the day, who should be posting pictures and talking, and who should you be emulating? All right. Anyway, that's a long podcast for today. I'm on vacation, so I'm not going to get them out every day. I just wanted to put this out there and kind of a general podcast for today. Nothing too specific, but I still intend on getting up and writing every morning. So you'll be receiving your group messages, both the 8-week challenge or the 8-week blast off. It's not a challenge. It's an 8-week to kind of show you what inSight is all about. And if you choose to proceed or go past and continue with inSight, then we'd love to have you. You've earned the right to jump in. And for those that are already part of the full inSight services, I appreciate you guys as well. You're doing fantastic. I'm seeing some amazing results in regards to health movement, both psychologically and physically. So keep up the good work. The summer can be a very challenging time because of the social interactions, because of, the sun is out and, you get a phone call, let's go on the patio, let's do this. Those are all really, really, really good behaviors. That's important because before you know it, the snow is going to fly for those of us in this hemisphere and things change. And then all of a sudden the social engagements become a lot more planned. And now you're looking down the barrel of holidays and things like that. So then it becomes more about optimizing the time in between, which, again, we'll get into. But it's so incredible and so important to have support structure and a plan so that you can really, really allocate your time well and resources well and find that fulcrum, that center, that balance so that you're not rigid, but yet there is still structure there for you to feel comfortable and safe in. Thanks.